Hello, everybody. Today, I want to talk about the underutilization of Android 18 in Dragon Ball. Let me start by telling you guys might not know this, but there is a large lack of major female protagonists in Dragon Ball, which is very interesting because the story of Dragon Ball started off with a female protagonist, Bulma, meeting the male protagonist, Goku, and they were the first two characters that we got to follow at first. And Bulma never wanted to be a fighter, so it was understandable that she didn't get to do a lot once the show became mostly about fighting or kung fu or martial arts. But Android 18 was the first true opportunity for Dragon Ball, the series, to dial it in and focus on a female character like Android 18, who's very cool, has a great design. People liked her character from the get-go. She debuted being the first villain, even though she was kind of an anti-hero villain-esque character, but she was the villain at the time. She was the first character to ever bring it to the Super Saiyans, to really decimate a Super Saiyan. The fight with Android 19 and Goku didn't really count because Goku was suffering from the heart virus. So Android 18's fight with Super Saiyan Vegeta was spectacular. If you haven't gone and seen that fight, I don't know why you're listening to me if you haven't seen Android 18 versus Vegeta. But it's, in my opinion, the best fight involving a female character in Dragon Ball. It's about 80-20 with Vegeta taking most of the offense from 18. Vegeta gets a few good shots in, but this is Android 18's fight, and she is the first android to truly bring some damage to the baby faces of the story. The sad part is after this fight, she is relegated to being absorbed by Cell, and then nothing. She marries Krillin and has a baby, and just like all female protagonists in Dragon Ball, she is relegated to being a mother, which is not a bad job, but it's just a repeated process in Dragon Ball that gets really old. Just because she became a mom shouldn't keep her out of the fights. The fact that she wasn't used in Dragon Ball Super until the Tournament of Power is ridiculous. She definitely should have been one of the fighters fighting the Frieza soldiers. I mean, it would have made more sense for her to fight the Frieza soldiers and Krillin to be at home watching the kid, being that she's stronger than Krillin. And at the time, Krillin had retired from fighting. Would have been an interesting story beat to see her tell Krillin to stay with Marin. I'm going to go help the guys because I feel safer with me going out into that fight because she's much stronger than Krillin at the time. And she still is stronger than Krillin right now. Her character has the potential to be as strong as Android 17. Android 17 trained off-screen, and most of the training I've read in the manga, he says that his training involved protecting his animal reserve island, and that was it. And Android 17 is somehow on the cusp of Super Saiyan Blue, which is insane to think about. I mean, where was he when Beerus was messing up the entire Z-Fighter cast with one shot? But now, somehow, Android 17 can hold his own with a Super Saiyan Blue Goku. I mean, at least in the manga, he's about as strong. He's got to be at least stronger than Majin Buu at this point, if not stronger than that. It's insane. He didn't train with anybody in particular. He just fought poachers off of his island, and I assume did some workouts of his own on his off time. But that is insane, the amount of power that Android 17 increased. Before Dragon Ball Super, I always thought the androids, being androids, were giving this infinite power, but they couldn't increase it. It just stayed exactly where it never went down, but it never goes up. And since they're androids, they can't train and get stronger. Just that's the way the Buu saga made it seem for Android 18. She didn't train, but I mean, I guess she never really was into training character-wise. But it doesn't mean they couldn't make Android 18 a better protagonist. That was just the writing. She got this power artificially from Dr. Gero, yes, but Android 18 could have been written into being a better fighter, and the fact that her brother in Super becomes almost Super Saiyan God level, Ultimate Gohan level of a fighter tells me that Android 18 could have easily reached those same levels. And writing is the only thing that kept her from that, the writing. Even if they didn't want her to train or get stronger than when she fought Vegeta in the Cell Saga, doesn't mean they couldn't have done something with her character. I personally like that she wanted to stick by and stay in the tournament and get all that money from Hercule. That makes sense for her character, definitely. I like that. I like that she got to spar with Goten and Trunks, and in a lot of ways she was kicking their asses 2-on-1. So that's pretty cool, but after that, she is non-existent in the story. Android 18 had a lot of potential. She has a fan base. She didn't have to be relegated to just being a mother character for most of the series that she's been in so far in Dragon Ball Super, like Chi-Chi, and more of a side character than Android 17. I mean, Android 17 got to win the Tournament of Power. But Android 18, she got some cool spots with Krillin and cool spots with Android at 17. I know what you're going to say. She got to fight Ribrianne, but that's not a big deal. That didn't really mean much for her character going forward. She's still just Krillin's wife and 17's sister. I mean, look at the game Dragon Ball FighterZ. In that game, most of the female characters, except for Kefla, all of the female characters, except for Kefla, have a partner, I believe, like an assist partner, like Videl has Great Saiyaman as a backup, and Android 18 has Android 17 as a backup character, and Kefla is a fusion of two females, so it's kind of a tag team. It's unfair that Dragon Ball is always pushing the women characters down. Now, even the video games are basically stating that they have to fight with somebody else. I'm trying to think. I mean, most of the fighters' characters that are a pair are a woman and a man, or a pair of two women fused. That's crazy if you think about it. I mean, Android 17 has his own character. He doesn't have the super version of 18 as his backup. Be kind of cool to see 18 in her super outfit, which also is not in the Dragon Ball FighterZ game. They could make so much money on Android 18 toys and merchandise, and if they developed her character better. She's not just 17's sister and not just Krillin's wife and Marin's mother. She could have been one of the major players of the main cast. Android 18 deserves better writing going forward in Dragon Ball Super. She should be able to take down some major villains in the story. I mean, she could have been the last woman standing in the Tournament of Power, just like Android 17 was, but they wrote 17 into that spot. It would have been really interesting to see them do that. Like I said, Dragon Ball is very notorious for not pushing their female protagonists into the spotlight, which is crazy. I mean, Android 18's fight with Vegeta was one of the best, if not the best, female fight in Dragon Ball history. Some people will say it was Kefla versus fucking Ultra Instinct Goku, but I don't believe so. I think that cool spot with the with the Goku riding her attack with his Kamehameha ball thing. That was cool, but other than that, that fight was generic at best. But the fight between Android 18 and Vegeta was unique and kind of brutal, the way she decimated Vegeta and Trunks when he tried to interfere. It's crazy. What do you guys think? Do you think Android 18 has been underutilized in the series? I sure do. It would have been really interesting to see her contribute in the Majin Buu arc. Yes, like I said, I enjoyed the fact that she stayed behind and got that money from Hercule. And they even paid it off in the Broly movie that was awful. Bio Broly, I think. But she could have done more. She was one of the strongest people on the planet. She was strong. She was right behind Piccolo, I believe, in ranking and fighting. But she could have been much more if they decided to write her stronger in that arc. She could have been a character that helped fight Deborah or Fat Boo. If they let her get a little stronger, she could have surprised everybody and been a character to hold off Boo. I believe Super Boo, kills them all after he escapes from the hyperbolic time chamber. And then he basically goes and kills Yamcha, 18, Chi-Chi's already got killed, but all the rest of the Z fighting cast except for Dende, who escaped thanks to Mr. Popo. But if they had shown that part of the fight, they could have shown 18 actually being able to hold her own for a minute with Super Boo. That's all I asked for, to show her power. She could have been the one to save Dende, give him time to escape, and held off Boo long enough until Gotenks, right up until the point Gotenks got out. She could have even been the only survivor of that massacre after Gotenks and Piccolo got out. And the only reason Boo was still on the damn lookout when they arrived. I mean, it would have been interesting if they popped out right before she was about to be killed by Boo, because she was strong enough to hold her own, especially with her infinite energy. I'm not saying she would be stronger than Boo, because if so, why didn't she just do the fight to begin with? Because she is a better fighter than Gotenks. But she could have used her infinite energy gimmick to hold him off and survive. It would have been interesting to see her throughout the end, and then she could have probably died when the planet got destroyed, or been one of the characters that went with Goku and Vegeta and Dende and Hercule to the Supreme Kai planet just because she happened to be over there. And then she could have been involved in stalling for time for Goku to charge up his spirit bomb. There are places Android 18 could have shined, and they didn't allow it to happen. And in Dragon Ball Super, like I've said, she got a little bit of offense against Beerus, but it wasn't much. I liked the idea of her, Tien and Piccolo, teaming up against Beerus for a second. I understand she's nowhere near Beerus' level, but they could have written her to be one of the strongest characters in Dragon Ball. She had the potential to become one of the strongest female in Dragon Ball. She is technically the strongest female character in Dragon Ball, but they don't use the females, so it doesn't really matter. They don't let her character matter. I know Krillin. I have a lot of love for Krillin, and I want him to matter as well, but I really think that Dragon Ball is lacking a strong female protagonist that can hold their own with the likes of Goku and Vegeta. The show needs that. They don't need to be the main character if they don't want that. I get it. It's the Goku and Vegeta show. But they can push Android 18 to the level of Android 17. She has the same potential as Android 17. It's possible. The writing could get better for the side characters. And Android 18 is in desperate need of some character development. If it's saving Krillin or doing some badass beating a main villain. She could be the one that shows up and beats a main villain. Remember in GT, she teamed up with Goku to help finish off Super 17, I believe. It's been a while since I watched GT, but that's kind of a cool idea. I mean, it could come down, it could be a specific story that involves the androids in some way. I know there's this new Granola arc with this coming up in the manga. I haven't read it yet. I'm trying to get up to that point. I'm reading the manga currently. I've seen the anime. Android 18 deserves a spot where she comes in and helps Goku finish the main baddie. Why not? They want to push characters like Kefla from Universe 6, and that's great. I think Kefla's got a lot of potential. Kale and Caulifla, a lot of potential, but Android 18 is from OG Dragon Ball Z. She has the potential, and she deserves to be our #1 female in Dragon Ball, the series, the manga, the anime. What do you think? Who do you think out of all the females in Dragon Ball history, Videl, 18, Chi-Chi, Ariel, I think her name is, Bulma, all these characters that were left behind or became background characters or pretty much non-existent. Looking at Chi-Chi, who is the mother of Gohan. I mean, all these characters are forced to be mothers, or after they have children, they just want to be stay-at-home moms for most of the series. And it's crazy. It's crazy, especially a character like Android 18, who had so much potential that the writers just decided to leave for no reason, because she's not a Saiyan, because she can't transform. I think her toys would sell just as well, and you would build a female fan base that would be like, oh shit, they could have built Android 18 to literally be the top female anime character in all history, if they wanted to, if they built her up strong enough, if she was the one to defeat a character like Deborah or Boo or Golden Frieza or held up something. She had so many opportunities to be involved. She totally should have been the one to take Boo's place in the Universe 6 arc. When Boo failed that test, they had a whole bundle of background characters that could have taken the 5th spot in the Universe 6 tournament. She could have been the one to step up. Or someone could have said, hey, she's the strongest one here other than Piccolo, Vegeta, and Goku. And since, Gohan wasn't there, and honestly, she was probably stronger with her unlimited energy source than Gohan at the time, since he wasn't training yet. She could have stepped up and been in that fight with Botamo, or even fought Hit at first and did some pretty good damage, or used her infinite energy and beat the other robot guy. What was his name? God, I can't remember his name for the life of me right now, but I'll put his picture on the screen. But she could have been in the Universe 6 tournament. She could have beaten Kappa, Super Saiyan 1 Kappa, or even Frost. Wouldn't it have been great to see her kick Frost's ass after he cheats and beats Goku, or cheats and beats Piccolo, and she pops in and says, okay, and then beats Frost? That would have been sick, if you ask me. She could have easily been written to be stronger than Frost. No biggie. No big deal. Frost was a big cheater guy, but he was definitely stronger than Frieza was. Frieza from original seemed like he was stronger than Namek Saga Frieza. So it would have made total sense for her to pop in and kick his ass. That's what I'm saying. Android 18, underutilized character in Dragon Ball. What do you think? Comment, like, share. Let me know, who do you think the most underutilized female in all of Dragon Ball really was? I'm Mr. Morfetto. I'll talk to you later, guys.